Hello everyone, it's Priscilla from Mrs. Queen Crochet, and today I'll be showing you all how to create my big Wonderlust crochet bandana. Y'all have been asking for this video tutorial for forever. So here it is. You're going to need a 5mm crochet hook and worsted weight yarn. I'm not going to be using either of those, but I will explain that as we get into the video. And as always, the written pattern, which I highly suggest to go along with this tutorial, is linked down in the description. It is available on my website, Etsy, and Ravelry. So go grab that pattern, and if you join my email list, you'll get 20% off. And yes, so let's get on into the video and learn how to create my big Wonderlust bandana. Also, all of the links to how to do every single stitch are also in the description, as well as timestamps. I know in the materials section of this video, I said to use a 5mm hook and worsted weight yarn, but I am using a light 3 weight yarn, and so I'm going to level down my hook to a 4.25mm hook. You can use whatever you decide. So basically, that's what I'm going to use, and let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is do a slip knot and then put it on your hook. And after you do that slip knot, you're going to chain 5. After you chain 5, you're going to slip stitch into the first chain that you made. And when you slip stitch to that first chain you made, it's going to create a little circle. Here's the chains. There's a little circle in the middle right there. So into that circle, we're going to start with our first row, and we're going to double crochet 9 into this circle. And how you're going to do that is, I start off all of my rows with a chain 1. You can do more if you would like. I start with the chain 1, then for your double crochet, wrap the yarn around your hook, and then put it inside the circle, your hook. Wrap the yarn around your work, not around your hook, pull through that circle, wrap the yarn around your hook, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. And that's how we're going to double crochet into our circle. So we're going to do 8 more for a total of 9 double crochets. 4. Alright, so now I have 9 double crochets inside the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Alright, so now we're going to go on to round 2. I'm going to tighten up my circle there. And for round 2, we're going to turn our work. So see how I'm going this way? It's going to turn your work. It's going to flip your work like this. Just looking at the back of your stitches. So now for row 2, I start all of my rows with a chain 1. We're going to double crochet 2 into that first stitch right there. So into our first stitch, double crochet 2. 1 and 2. Then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to skip the next stitch. So we're going to skip this stitch right here and go into the next one, and we're going to double crochet 2 into that next stitch. So skip 1 into the next one, double crochet 2. And we're going to continue this all the way around. So after you do that chain 2, after you do that double crochet 2 into the same stitch, chain 2, skip the next stitch, and then double crochet 2 into the next one. Chain 2, skip the next stitch, double crochet 2 into the next one, chain 2, skip the next stitch, and into the last stitch you're going to double crochet 2. And that is row 2. Now we're going to turn our work again. Go back around. We're going to start round 3. Or row 3. Now I like to chain 1. Beginning of my round, or row. Sorry, I keep saying round. It's row. And then we're going to double crochet 2 in between every single double crochet 2 from our last row. So see here, double crochet 2 in between all of these. And then into every chain 2 space, see all these chain 2 spaces, we are going to do a double crochet 2, chain 3, double crochet 2. So let me show you guys how we do it. So in between this first 2 double crochets right here, in between, put your hook in there, you're going to double crochet 2, and into the chain 3 space, chain 2 space, we're going to do double crochet 2, chain 3, and then double crochet 2 more inside of that chain 2 space. And then in between these 2 double crochets, we're going to double crochet 2, then inside this chain 2 space, we're going to double crochet 2, chain 3, and double crochet 2 more. Ooh, we're getting blue now. I'm going to have blue for a while until it changes to a different color, but I love seeing my yarn change colors. All right. We're going to continue this until we get to the end of round 3. We're going to double crochet 2 in between the next, right there, into this chain 2 space. We're going to double crochet 2, chain 3, double crochet 2. Then in between these 2, double crochet 2, chain 2 space, double crochet 2, chain 3, double crochet 2, and then in between the last 2 double crochets from the previous round, in between them we're going to double crochet 2. All right, now on to row 4. So after this row, turn your work. So in row 4, we are going to single crochet into the back loop of every single double crochet stitch, and then into every single chain 3 space, we are going to single crochet 3. So if you want to know what the back loop is, first we're going to start our row with the chain 1. Here is the front loop. So here's your stitch. Sorry, there's a V. That's your stitch. The back loop. Oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally chained 2. Anyway, so here's the front loop, which is facing towards you, and the back loop is further away from you. So we're going to this single crochet, not into both like usual, just into the back loop of each stitch. So we just did that one. Here's the next one. Here's our stitch, not the front loop, but the back loop we're going to single crochet into. Once again, I have tutorials for each stitch below in case you need like a more in-depth tutorial. So now we just single crocheted into all of those double crochets. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are going to into the chain 3 space, we're just going to single crochet 3. And then into the next double crochets, we're going to single crochet into the back loop of every stitch. And don't forget, guys, if you want the written patterns, you have to watch this video over and over again just to make these bandanas. The written pattern is available below in the description. Make sure to check that out. It really helps support me to continue to give you guys free patterns and tutorials on YouTube. It'd be very much appreciated. So I just finished the back loops, did 3 single crochets in that chain 3 space. We're going to do some more back loops to the next double crochets. Double crochets, we're in the back loop. All right, now we're going to do 3 single crochets in that chain 3 space. Then more back loops. When I was creating this bandana, I really wanted a lot of texture, a lot of variety, something really unique, because I see a lot of amazing crochet bandanas out there, but a lot of them are pretty, okay, they're all great, but I'm just like, I need some more texture, you know? And I don't know, I like you making unique things. And making this bandana was like a dream come true, honestly, when I was creating it. Anyway, so we did the back loops into that chain 3 space. We did 3 single crochets. And now into the last remaining 4 double crochets, we are going to single crochet into the back loops of those as well. And that is the end of, what's this, round 4 or row 4? Yes, it's the end of row 4. Look how pretty that is so far. We're going to turn our work. All right, so row 5, at the beginning I was chain 1. So we are going to single crochet into the first stitch. So here's our first stitch, single crocheting into it. And then we are going to treble crochet 8 into this next chain 3 space. From, I think this is row 3. We're going to go into here and do 8 treble crochets. So we're just going to go in here. Oh, I forgot. Double crochet, wrap twice. Just go in there. Select a stitch, and then we're going to do a treble crochet. So that's 1 to that space. It's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so after we do that 8 treble crochet, we're going to skip the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So we're skipping these, 1, 2, 3, and then into this next stitch, we are going to do a single crochet into it. So skip 1, 2, 3. It's that 4th stitch. Do a single crochet. And then we are going to do another treble 8 crochets into this next little chain 3 space from row 3. So 1, wrap twice, and go in there. Do 8 more treble crochets. All right, that's 8 treble crochets into that next little space. And then we're going to skip 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, skip. Into this 4th stitch, we're going to slip stitch. After you slip stitch into that stitch, chain 1. Now do 2 double crochets into the same stitch you just slip stitched into. So it's the same stitch. Going to double crochet 2, 1, 2. Real quick, make sure the camera's focused. There we go. And after you double crochet 2, gonna do a treble crochet into the same stitch. So 1 treble crochet. And then we are going to do 2 more double crochet into the same stitch. We're doing a lot in this one stitch. So 2 more double crochets, 1, 2, and then we are going to slip stitch into the same stitch. We got a lot in here. We got a slip stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochets, 1 treble, 2 double, and then we're going to slip stitch into it too. Give us a nice little bump. Looks like this. A little smaller version of this, basically. And then after we do that, we're going to do 8 treble crochets into the next little chain 3 gap from row 3. So we did this. Let's go to the next one and do 8 treble crochets in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so there's 8. And then we are going to skip the next 3 stitches. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, into that 4th one, do a single crochet. All right, so it looks so far. And now, guys, guess what we're gonna do in this one? 8 treble crochets. And just so you guys know, if you have any questions, please comment below so I can hopefully answer them as fast as I can. And yeah, let me know what kind of tutorials you guys want to see next in the comments as well. If you don't have any questions, you don't know what you want to see, just say hey in the comments. That is enough to help my video be pushed up more in the YouTube algorithm, because that'd be great. Anyway, we did our treble crochet 8, and now we are going to, let me see what the thing says. My brain is like, no, I don't remember. So then we're going to single crochet into the last stitch. So we're going to skip these 3 into the last stitch, do a little single crochet. And that is the end of row 5, or round 5, whatever it's called. Here is a little, how it looks so far. It looks like a little half flower, super cute. Let's go to row 6, let's turn our work. So in row 6, well, for row 6, we're going to do everything in the back loop. Little reminder, front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop, everything in this back loop. So we're going to double crochet into the first stitch. It's going to be a long row, but y'all got this, you got it. The first stitch, do a double crochet. So here's how we're looking so far in the back loop. Okay, and then we're going to do half double crochet in the next stitch. Don't forget, guys, back loops only. So do half double crochet, and then the next stitch, do another half double crochet. And then in the next 2 stitches, single crochet. So next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet. And then into the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. So into the same stitch, we just did 2 single crochets. So after you do the 2 single crochet in the same stitch, in the next stitch, you're going to do another single crochet, but just 1. And then in the next 2 stitches, do 1 half double crochet. So next stitch, half double, next stitch, half double. And then into that single crochet from the previous row, which should be your next stitch. If not, make sure you got that last part right. That single crochet from the previous row, your next stitch, you're going to do 2 double crochets. To the back loop, there we go. So 1, 2 double crochets in that same stitch. That's how we're looking so far. And then into the next 2 stitches, do 1 half double crochet. So next stitch, half double, next stitch, half double. All right. Then the next stitch, you are going to do a single crochet, and after that, another single crochet. Next stitch, do 2 single crochets in that 1 stitch. And after you do the 2 and 1, you're going to do a single crochet into your next stitch. In the next 2 stitches, before we get to this bump, the next 2, you're going to do half double crochets. So next one, half double, next stitch, half double. Now we're at this little bump right here. We have a little cluster from the last row. So we're going to skip over the little slip stitch that we did. Can't really see it, but we did a little slip stitch into that stitch to begin with. We're going to skip over that, and then into these next stitches. There should be 5 with the double crochet, treble, and 2 more doubles. We're going to do 2 half double crochets into each of these 5 stitches in this little bump. So don't forget doing the back loops. So we're going to do 2 double crochets into each of these 5 stitches for a total of 10 half doubles in that little bump. And we're not working into the slip stitch at all, either of the slip stitches, because we did one at the beginning, one at the end. All right, so you still have 10 half doubles from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we did 2 double crochets, or sorry, I'm sorry, 2 half double crochets into all of those stitches from that little bump. So don't forget, we're skipping over the slip stitch. We're not going to go into that slip stitch that we did to go into that stitch. We're going to skip over that. We're going to go into that. See all these trebles from the previous row. We're going to start from that in that treble right there, treble stitch. We're going to go into there. We're going to do a half double crochet. In the next stitch, do another half double crochet, and then do a single crochet in the next stitch. And then in the next stitch, do 2 single crochets into the same stitch. All right, so we got half double, single, 2 singles in one. Then we're going to do single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to do another single in the next stitch. And the next 2 stitches, do 2 half double crochets. And I'm sorry, so 1 half double in each stitch. So next stitch, half double, next stitch, half double. And then that little single crochet, which should be your next stitch, do 2 double crochets. And then into the next stitch, which should be a treble, do a half double crochet. Next stitch, half double. Don't forget we're working in the back loops of all these stitches. Next stitch, next stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, single crochet. All right, next stitch, 2 single crochets in the 1 stitch. Next stitch, single crochet. And then you're going to do in the next 2 stitches half double crochet. And then the last stitch, you are going to do a double crochet. If you ended up with 2 stitches at the end, that's okay. Just do a double in each of them. Sometimes you end up with 1 double crochet. Sometimes you end up with 2. It just varies, but I usually end up with 1. All right, so here we have it so far. Looking good. Let's turn our work. So we can do row 7. All right, so after you turn your work, let's start row 7. So I always chain 1 beginning of my rows. So we're going to be doing double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 13 times. So we're not working in a front loop, back loop, we're going to work in a regular stitch for this round. So first stitch, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. And the next stitch, do a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1. So after this, you're going to end up with 13 double crochets, 13 chain 1s, and 13 skip stitches, as you can see. We're going to do this until we do double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 13 times. All right, so I have done 13 double crochets in chain 1s, and I skipped 13 stitches. So now we're going to go into the next part. So make sure you skip this next stitch, and then into the next stitch, after you skip that one, into this next one, you are going to do double crochet, another double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's the same stitch, do 2 more double crochets. And then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet into the next stitch. You're going to do that 13 times. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet to the next one. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet until we get to the end. And you should end up double crocheting into a stitch after you skip 1. All right, so if you ended up like me and you're like, uh-oh, I'm skipping a stitch and there's nothing left, let's go ahead and count how many double crochets we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, supposed to have 13 double crochets on this side after we do this little increase right here at the top. If you end up with one stitch left and you haven't skipped a stitch, after you do that, chain one, just double crochet into the next stitch. It's totally fine. Your banana will come out fine. So see how I couldn't skip one? It's okay. You're fine, I promise. So after you do that, here is how it looks at the end of this row. Looking pretty. Look at that. That is beautiful. Okay, let's turn our work and do row 8. So we are going to half double crochet into each double crochet in each chain until we get to the chain 3 at the middle of our row. Let's go ahead and do that. So at the beginning of each row, chain 1 into that first double crochet, we're going to half double crochet. Into that chain 1, we're going to double crochet. And we're going to keep doing that until we get to the middle of the row. Let me show you guys real quick how it's going to look in case that was confusing at all. See, we're half double crocheting, like literally double crochet, chain 1. We're doing half double crochet into each of them. All right, so here we are getting to the middle. I'm going to half double crochet into these next 2 double crochets so that we can reach this chain 3 right here. So here's how that side of my work looks. All right, so into those chain 3, we're going to do a double crochet, another double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more double crochet into that same chain 3 space. And then we're going to continue half double crocheting in every single double crochet stitch and every single chain 1 space. So here's how it looks so far. Did the middle part with the 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet, all in that same little space. And now we're half double crocheting down the side of it in every single double crochet space and chain 1 space. And make sure, if you haven't already, if you haven't, you're at this part in the video, what you doing? Make sure that you subscribe. That would be amazing. I'm going to be posting more tutorials, more little crochet vlogs, all the little things, business tips, crochet tips, all the fun stuff. So subscribe so you guys can see when all my videos come out. It would be so appreciated because y'all are awesome for even watching this video. It's a great pattern, to be honestly, but subscribe. All right, so now we're at the end of row, I think we're on row 8. We're on row 8, right? Look at that looks. Beautiful. We are almost to the next shade of blue, which I'm super excited about. All right, let's turn our work so we can do row 9. So beginning of our row, we're going to chain 1. Now on this row, we're going to do everything in the front loop. So when I say front loop, here's, let's look at the top of our stitch. Here's the back loop. Here is the front loop. We're going to do everything in the front loop of every stitch. It's for texture. Just trust me. Just do it. All right. So first stitch, single crochet in a front loop. Don't forget. And then we're going to skip 1 stitch. So we're going to skip this one. See? Single crochet, skip 1. Into the next stitch, front loop, we are going to double crochet 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into that 1 stitch. Then we're going to skip 1 stitch, and into the next one we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going to repeat this 7 times. We're going to end up with 7 of these shell stitches. The 5 double crochet is a shell stitch. So we're going to do, after we do the single crochet, we're going to skip 1 stitch, into the next stitch do 5 double crochets. So we're gonna meet back up after we do 7 of these, but I'll show you guys one more time how to do it. So after you do the 5 double crochets into the 1 front loop of that stitch, so you have 5 in this next one, skip 1, single crochet into that next one. So skip 1 stitch, 5 double crochet in the next one. We're going to do this until we have 7 of these shell stitches. Alright guys, so I have the 7 shell stitches right here. In case you didn't understand, we started off with the single crochet, skipped 1. In the next stitch, we did 5 doubles. Skipped 1, single crochet, skip 1, 5. You like catching the drift there? So we have 7 of those now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I skipped 1, single crocheted, and that ended this little cute little 7 shell stitches. So we're gonna skip that next stitch, and then into the chain 3 space, we are going to double crochet 4, 2, it's the same space, 3, and 4. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into the same space, we're going to double crochet 4 more. Now your bandana is going to start getting a little foldy like, because it's called the Big Wonderlust bandana because it gets big and it's like pretty foldy. Anyway, so if it doesn't end up perfectly straight, it's okay. It's going to twist and turn a little bit. That's kind of adds to the uniqueness of it. So after you do that, double crochet 4, chain 3, double crochet 4. We're going to skip the next double crochet stitch right here. Going to skip that. And then we are going to single crochet into the next stitch. So we skip that double crochet into the next double crochet. We're going to single crochet. Then we're going to do the same shell stitch thing that we, oh, I'm so sorry, I almost forgot. Make sure you're working in the front loop only. Okay. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and do 5 double crochet into the next. We're going to do the same shell stitch pattern all the way down the other side of our bandana. 2, 3, 4, 5. So after you do that, you're going to skip 1 stitch, single crochet into the next one. Skip 1, 5 double crochet. We're going to do that all the way down the other side until we get to the end. So here we are at the end of our row, and I finally got to the next blue color change. Look at that. So pretty. It's a little bit lighter than the last color. And I'm ending off with my 5 double crochet into 1 stitch, and I'm skipping 1, and that should leave 1 single crochet for that last stitch. So skip this one, single crochet in the front loop of that one, and that ends row 9. We're going to turn our work. Here's how it looks from the other side. So pretty. Okay. Let's get into row 10. Chain 1 at the beginning, as per usual. And we're going to double crochet into the first stitch. Chain 2. Skip 2 stitches. 1, 2. So into this middle double crochet of our 5 from our shell stitch. So here's our last row. We got the 5 in the 1 stitch. Into that middle stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. Chain 2. Into that single crochet. In between those shell stitches, you're going to do a double crochet. And we're going to do this until we get to the top of the row. So you're going to chain 2, single crochet into that middle double crochet of the shell stitch, or just skip 2 stitches, single crochet into it, and then chain 2 into all the single crochets, do a double crochet. I'm going to show you guys how it looks real quick so you get the gist of what we're going to be doing in all of these shells. Let me show you guys. So see what we have here. First stitch, double, chain 2, single, chain 2, double, chain 2, single. There's a single at the top middle of all the shells. There's double crochet and the single crochets in between all the shells, and there's chain 2s in between every stitch. So I just did a double crochet into that single crochet. I'm chaining 2, I'm skipping those 2 doubles in that shell. The next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet. We're going to keep doing that until we get to the end, well, not the end, till we get into the middle of our bandana. Double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, so make sure that we did that double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2 7 times. So we got 1 here, 1, double crochet, single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went too far, so I had to kind of go back. So did that double crochet, single crochet, chain 2 thing 7 times. Now, after you do this, the last single crochet, chain 2, so make sure you skip 2 again. This is the last shell on this side until we get to this little increase spot. So into this single crochet before those 4 doubles, we all can see it. Do a double crochet. Make sure y'all see what we're doing here. Then you're going to chain 2. And into this little spot here, we're going to skip all these. We're going to do double crochet 3 times into this chain 3 space, which is the middle of our row. Do 1, 2, 3 double crochets in that little space, chain 3, and then do 3 more inside. So in that chain 3 space, 3 double crochet, chain 3, do double crochet on that space in the middle of our row. And now we're going to chain 2, skip those next 4 double crochets right here, and then into this next single crochet right here, right before that shell, you're going to do a double crochet. And you're going to chain 2 into that middle double crochet, or to skip 2 stitches right there. You're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, skip those next 2 stitches into that single crochet. You're going to do a double crochet. I'm going to continue this all the way down. So chain 2, skip 2, single crochet, chain 2, skip 2, in that single crochet you're going to do a double. We're going to continue that just like kind of what we did at the beginning of this row, and do that all the way down the side of our work until we get to the end of this row. I'm going to show you guys how it looks just in case you guys are confused. Give me a second to do this last single crochet. As you can see, here's the middle of the row. We got the chain 2 double, chain 2 single, chain 2 double, chain 2 single, and we're only kind of crocheting into the top of our shell and that single crochet in between all the shells. Hope that makes sense. Once again, the written pattern has it all in there too, because you guys want to follow along with that. We're going to keep doing that until the end of the row. So you should end with a double crochet into the first stitch, into the last stitch, which is a single crochet. I'm going to do a double crochet right in there, and then here is how your work should look so far. Got that right there, then we got that at the top, then we got the doubles and singles again, the chain 2s all the way down that side. Now for row 11, as I always do, chain 1. So into the first stitch, which is that double crochet from the previous round, we're going to do a single crochet into the first stitch. Now what we are going to do for this whole side, should be nice and simple, is we're going to single crochet 3 into every single chain 2 space. And we're going to skip all of these single crochets, double crochets, skip all of these and only single crochet 3 into each of these chain 2 spaces until we get to this little, at the middle of our row, this little cluster of 3 double crochets. So I'll meet up with you guys there, but just a reminder, we're single crocheting 3 in each chain 2 space, and we're skipping over double crochets. We're not single crocheting in them at all, and we're skipping over single crochets too. We're going right into all of the chain 2 spaces, doing 3 single crochets in each of them. So here's how it looks, so you guys know what's going on. In the first stitch we did a single crochet, and then we did 3 single crochets in that chain 2 space where we skipped over that, 3 singles, skipped over that, 3 singles in each space. Alright, so now that we've done this whole side, skipping all our singles and doubles and just single crocheting 3 in all those little chain 2 spaces, now we're here at the middle of our row. Got our 3 double crochets right here. So we are going to single crochet into those 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. And then into the chain 3 space, we're going to do single crochet 3 into the same space. So 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then single crochet 3 into that same chain 3 space at the very middle of our row. So single crochet 3, chain 3, single crochet 3. Then single crochet into the next 3 double crochets from the previous row. So that got a little twisted there. So we have this so far. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side of our work. Do 3 single crochets into each of the chain 2 spaces while skipping over all of the double crochets and single crochets from the previous round until we get to the end. And at the end, we will do a single crochet into that last stitch. Alright, so here I am doing the last 3 double Here I am doing the last 3 single crochets into that last little chain 2 space, and then into the last stitch of this row, which is a double crochet from the previous row. Just do a single crochet, and that ends off row number 11. So here's how it looks so far without me turning it. It's getting pretty big. Alright, let's do row 12. We are going to do everything into the back loop of every stitch. So we're going to do a little chain 1. So we're going to half double crochet in each stitch, the back loop of each stitch. And then we get to the middle of the row, I'll meet with you guys there. So back loop of every stitch, we're going to be half double crocheting. Alright, so I did half double crochet in the back loop of all these on the side, and then when we get to the middle, we're going to just keep working the back loop until we get to this chain 3 space. So I'm going to half double crochet in the back loop until we get to this chain 3. Alright, so into that chain 3 space, we're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 3, and 3 more in half double crochets in that same stitch. And then we're going to continue on doing half double crochets in the back loop for the remainder of the row until we get to the end. So here we go, and I'll meet up with you guys at the end of this row. Here's how it looks so far. Alright, so I just finished row 12. Now we're going to do row 13. Let's turn our work. And we're going to chain 1 as per usual. And then we're going to do everything into the front loop of each stitch. We're going to do a cluster stitch. So we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster stitch. So make sure you guys know how to do that in case you don't know how. Wrap the yarn around your hook. Insert it into the front loop, if you can. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through, wrap the yarn around your hook, and pull it through only 2 loops. Now wrap it around your hook again, put into the same stitch, wrap it around your hook, pull up one, pull up one loop, wrap it around, pull it through 2. Then, we're not done yet. Wrap it around your hook, put it inside the same stitch, wrap it around your hook, pull it through, wrap it around, pull it through 2. And then, wrap it around your hook and pull it through all 4 loops on your hook. It's basically a 3 double crochet stitch together. So it's like a 3 double crochet decrease, but in the same stitch. Once again, tutorials for each stitch are below in case you want a more in-depth one. Now we're going to chain 1 and skip 1. So chaining 1 and skipping 1 is basically right there because it's kind of a big stitch and needs some room in that next area. We're going to skip it, the next stitch, and do the same thing into the next one. And we're going to do this until we have 28 double crochet cluster stitches. So chain 1, skip 1. So once again, keep going with these clusters and skipping until you have 28, and then I'll meet up with you guys there. So here's how it looks. Got this, skipping 1, this, skipping 1, so that's 3. We're going to do this about 25 more times. If you made it this far to the video, which means you're almost done with your bandana, let me know in the comments, what do you guys like to do while you're crocheting? Do you sit in silence like I usually do? Or do you put like a YouTube video? Do you listen to music, podcasts, Audible, books? You let me know in the comments what you guys like to do while you were crocheting. I really wish I could kind of read and crochet easier. I feel like I need like a book holder or something for me to be able to read while I crochet. I actually need to buy the next book in my series so I can get close to finish. It's a long series. Gotta buy the next book from Thrift Books. In case you guys like to read books, check out Thrift Books. Are like 100% legit, and books, I get them for like $4 a piece, like hardcover. It's insane. So check out thriftbooks.com. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I'm just mentioning them because I love getting books from Thrift Books. So that's why I love to read. So they have a lot of books available, and they're cheap, and they're all secondhand. But all the ones I've got have been like in amazing condition. So check out them. Here is how it's looking so far. Alright, now I have done 28 double crochet cluster stitches and chain 1s. You can see right here we have a lot. I'm not going to count it because I already did. So we ended up right here. We literally worked into the last half double crochet possible from this little middle part. It's my last cluster. So out of that last cluster, I chained 1. Now we're going to work into the chain 3 space right here in the middle of our bandana. So into this, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 3 and do 3 more double crochets, all in the same chain 3 space from the previous row. Show you guys how it looks. There's a little cluster, there's a 3, 3, 3, and then into the next stitch, which is the next half double crochet, we're going to do, don't forget we're working, are we in front loop, back loop? No, we're just in the front loop. In the front loop, you're going to do, start off with your clusters again. Alrighty, and then we're going to do this. So double crochet 3 cluster, chain 1, skip 1, cluster again. We're going to do that until we get to the end of the row. And when we get to the end of the row, we should have to do, we should end on a cluster stitch. So let's meet up when we get to the end of row 13. So here's how it looks so far. Alright, now that I did that part, finished row 13 with a cluster stitch. Alright, and just so you guys know how it looks so far after row 13, here's a little kind of overview, kind of a little bit too close to the whole thing, but also we got green now, guys. I am so excited about these colors. We got purple, blue, light blue, green. It's so cool. Okay, sorry, enough about fangirling over this yarn. Okay, let's go to row 14. So, as always, chain 1. And then into this first cluster stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. Got it? Cool. So, see how this chain 1 space right here? And then you see this skip stitch underneath it from the previous row? There's a chain 1. There's a skip stitch from the previous row. Instead of double crocheting into that, we're going to do a double crochet into this skip stitch from the previous row. So let's go and go right in there. Going to create a nice little color change. If you're doing different colors here, you'll see it. You'll see it when we get a little bit further down. So after we do that, double crochet into that stitch below, we're going to do a half double crochet on top of the next cluster stitch. Then we're going to double crochet into that skip stitch from the previous row. And we're going to continue doing this until we get to the middle of the row. So basically half double crochet on top of every single cluster stitch and into those chain 1s. Instead of going into the chain 1, double crochet into the skip stitch from the previous row. So I will see you guys when we get to the middle of the row so I can show you what to do there. So here's how it looks. So, half double, double, half double, double, all the way until we get to the middle. So when you get to the middle of your row, as you can see, here's the middle. We know that it is because it's half double chain 3 space here. After doing your half double crochet into the skip stitch, you're going to want to make sure that after you half double crochet in that last cluster right there, you want to do a double crochet in between this cluster and these 3 double crochets. So we're going to just find somewhere to put it. We're just going to put it right here. I'm just going to put it right there. It doesn't really matter where, just put it somewhere. Oh gosh, now I'm pulling out the yarn. Okay, there we go. So we want to make sure that we have a double crochet after we half double the last cluster. Now we're going to half double crochet into each of these double crochets right here. And then into the chain 3 space, 3 half double crochets, chain 3, 3 more half double crochets, all in the same space. You probably guessed that. As you guys see, I'm laughing a little bit more now because I start to lose my mind halfway in through tutorials. I was like, oh, I've been doing this for like so long. We just start going hysterical. Anyway, so we did 3 half doubles, 3 chains, and 3 more half doubles. Okay, that's the top. Now don't forget the next 3 half double crochet. And then after you half double crochet 3 into those 3 double crochets, we're going to want to put a double crochet in between or right before we do the half double crochet on top of this cluster. See over here, we did the same thing. In between the cluster and these doubles, we have a double. So in between this cluster and these doubles, we need a double crochet. So we're going to squeeze it in there somewhere. I'm going to put it right, like literally in the same stitch of that cluster stitch. No one's going to know. They're going to know. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side, the beginning of our, look at that. It looks so cool. Our side of our work, half double crochet on top of every single cluster stitch, and then do do a double crochet into the skip stitch underneath that chain 1 in between the clusters. See? We're going to do that all the way down our row until we get to the end. And I'll meet up with you guys to end to make sure that you end this row correctly. So here's how it looks so far. We're going to keep doing these half doubles and doubles until we get to the end of the row. So here is the end of row 14. I ended with a half double crochet on top of that last cluster stitch. Now we're going to turn our work and we're going to do row 15. So I'm going to tell you guys what to do because it's, showing you is going to be too long. So we're going to double crochet into 26 stitches. All right, so after you double crochet 26 stitches, then you are going to half double crochet 2 stitches. After you half double crochet 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet 34 stitches. So double crochet 26, half double crochet 2, and then single crochet 34. And when you do that, you should be at the middle of your row, you know, where that chain 3 spaces. So when you get there, I'll catch up with you guys there, but don't forget, double crochet in the first 26 stitches, half double crochet in 2 stitches, and then single crochet in 34, and I'll see y'all at the middle of the row. So here is there so far. Alright, so now I did my 26 half double crochet, as you can see right here, and some are in there. We got 2 half doubles, and we got 34 singles. And now we're here at the top of our chain 3 space, the middle of our row. And now we are going to do 3 single crochets into this chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 3 chains, and then 3 more single crochets. If I can get in there, there we go. And then we're going to single crochet into the next 34 stitches, half double crochet in 2 stitches, and then double crochet into the rest of them, which should be about 26 stitches. So this, you know, the reverse of what we did on the first part of our row. So single crochet in 34, half double crochet in 2, and double crochet in 26, and I'll meet up with you guys at the end of row 15 so we can start row 16. Alright, so we just finished row 15, all those little double crochets. Now we're going to turn our work. I mean, first of all, look at this so far, guys. Oh, wrong side. This is the right side, all the texture. Look at this. Look at these colors. They're so pretty. I get excited about colors, guys. It's just gorgeous. Anyway, let's turn our work. Let's do the second to last row. Well, second to last row. We're almost there, guys. Alright, so row 16. We're going to do everything in the back loop of every single stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet in the back loop for everything. In every single double crochet, a half double crochet in those 2 half doubles, and single crochets in all the single crochets. And when you get to the tippy top, which it looks like I did not chain 3, ignore that. Wait, I messed up. Don't be like me. Don't mess up and forget to put, wait, is that 3? No, never mind. I didn't mess up. Just kidding. Right here, you're going to do single crochet 3, chain 3, single crochet 3 in the middle of row 16. And then you're going to continue down, do single crochets, another single crochet, half double crochets, and then 2 half double crochets, and then do double crochets and all double crochets. So you're going to just basically be like repeating the previous row. Just make sure you do the same stitch in every stitch previously. And then in the middle, single crochet 3, chain 3, single crochet 3. I'll meet up with you guys at the end of the row to make sure that you did it correctly, and then we're going to go into row 17. So we're going to start off with double crochets, and then we're going to do just the same stitch in whatever stitch was in the previous round. So I'll meet up with you guys at the end of row 16. Alright, so for this round 16, I just finished it. I finished it off with double crochets. Just to make sure you guys did it right, we're going to do a little recap. So we did double crochets and all double crochets from the previous row. And we did, oh my gosh, you know, it's okay if you didn't do it, because I obviously forgot you're supposed to do that entire row in the back loop. Oops, I didn't do it in the back loop. So if you're watching this whole thing through before you do it, do this row in the back loop. Sorry, guys. So, I'm not going to because I don't feel like it. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets and a half double crochets, the singles and all the singles, as you can see. Oops, I can't grab anything. And at the top, we did the single crochet 3, 3 chain, single crochet 3 in that little chain 3 space, the single crochets, 2 double crochet, 2 half doubles and a bunch of doubles. Okay, hope you all did it right. Let's do row 17, which is the last row of our bandana, and then we're going to do the strings to tie it around your head, etc. So for round 17, we're going to do a shell stitch border. Basically, we did in the previous row, we're going to single crochet into the first stitch, and then we are going to skip a stitch, and then we're going to do 5 double crochet into the next stitch. After you do that, you're going to skip a stitch and then single crochet into the next stitch. So we're going to do this about 16 times until we get to the middle of the row, but at the end of the 16th time, you're not going to do that last single crochet, but I will show you when we get there. So just after you do that single crochet, skip a stitch, 5 double crochet into the next stitch, 2, 3, 4, and 5, skip a stitch into the next stitch, do a single crochet. So just keep doing that, skipping a stitch, 5 double crochet, skip 1 single crochet until we get to the middle of the row, and I will meet up with you guys there. And here's how it looks so far, so you can kind of see what we're doing. We're going to end up doing 16 of these shell stitches. Alright, so here we are. I actually messed that part up. We're going to take that off. Okay, so when you do this last row, we're going to need 16 shells. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So after you do the 16 shell, don't single crochet into the next stitch. Just do your 5 double crochets, and then we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 at the middle of our row. So after you slip stitch into that space, you're going to want to double crochet 7 into that same chain 3 space at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So after you do that, you're going to want to slip stitch into it again. All right, so after you do that, skip the next 5 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into that next stitch, you're going to want to do 5 double crochets. And then skip 1 stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to continue doing our shells all the way down. So after that single crochet, skip 1, 5 double crochet in the next one, skip 1, single crochet, skip 1, 5 double crochet. You kind of get the drill, same as the beginning of the row. And then we're going to get to the end, and I'll show you guys what we need to do next. So I'm just gonna skip 1, single crochet, skip 1, 5 double crochet. All right, I'll meet up with you guys at the end of row 17. Alright, so I just finished off with a single crochet into the last stitch of that row. Have all my shell stitches right here. Once again, the shells are just literally the single crochet, skip 1, 5 double crochet, skip 1, single crochet, literally across this whole side of the bandana, which is looking really awesome so far. I'm about to get into a light green, but this is kind of the end. We're not going to see much of this light green color in my bandana. Probably gonna put this on Etsy after it's done. So if when y'all want this bandana, it will be on the Etsy shop eventually. Okay, so now that we're at the top, we are going to single crochet as evenly as you possibly can across the top of your bandana. As you can see right here. Just go right across the top. So that's what we're gonna do. And basically I kind of just do 2 single crochets and the double crochets. I do like, so hard to explain with the actually I think I do 3 single crochets in the double crochets when I go across the side of them. And then so we got a cluster here, so I'm going to do another 3 single crochets in this cluster stitch. I don't do it super neat, but I do try to make it, you know, as neat as possible. And then into the half double, I'm going to do 2 single crochets as best as I can. This will kind of give the top a nice little, mostly even, I don't know, kind of feel to it. That's what we're going to do. But you don't have to do it exactly that way. You can just do how many single crochets fit nicely, depending on how tight or how loosely you crochet. So I don't really count too much. I just kind of just do what looks and feels right for the top of this bandana. As you can see, I'm not really just doing anything specific, but we're just going to go across the top. And when you go across the top, we're going to start the first kind of tie for the bandana. So I'll meet up with you guys once you crochet across the top of your bandana. I'll meet up you guys right over here on the end. Alright, so after you sequin crocheted as evenly as you could across the top, this is the back side. The front side is actually the wrong side, but I kind of like it. Looks more neat than this side. So anyway, so I went across the top of my single crochet, as you can see. And now we're at the end, and we're not going to fasten off. We're actually going to do 31 foundation single crochet stitches from this. So basically how to start that is just insert your hook, you know, kind of where you ended. This is like the end of the side of the bandana. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull up one, wrap around, pull through one, wrap around, pull through two. That's your first foundation. So then you're going to go into this right here, wrap around, pull up one, wrap around, pull through one, wrap around, pull through two, and you're going to keep doing that. That's your foundation. Okay, so just real quick, I do have a tutorial that is a lot slower on the foundation single crochet, which is in the description of this video. But you're just going to keep doing that until you do, I can't talk, 31 foundation single crochet stitches. As you can hear, I'm losing my mind a little bit because I've been recording for a while. And I start to not, I'm so sorry, I show you guys every little thing. But it's okay because I have a tutorial. So just, you know, we're not going to go into that loop. We're going to go into that loop and just going to insert it, wrap it around, pull up one, wrap it around, pull through one, wrap around, pull through two. We're going to do that 31 times. After you do it 31 times, fasten off, and then we're going to do 31 foundation singles on the other side of our bandana. So here's one side. The other side at the top, we're going to do 31 on this end as well. So I'll catch up with you guys after I finish this 31 foundation single crochet stitches. Alright, so I just fastened off this 31 foundation. So I'm going to go to the other side of the top, follow single crochet, and then I'm going to connect my hook on that first single crochet that I did, kind of going across, which is kind of here-ish. I'm going to just connect my hook like that. I'm going to hold it, it doesn't fly away. Chain one, go back into that same stitch I connected to, pull up one, wrap around, pull through two. Put it in there. And we're going to do 31 foundation single crochets on this side as well. And when you fasten off, the bandana will be, I think, complete. I don't know. We're going to see if I forgot anything once we get to the end of this 31 foundation single crochet. So here's how it's looking so far. So I just fastened off this end of the foundation single crochet. Now we have the two ties. Sorry, my desk is a mess. And now it's time for some glamour shots. So I fastened in my ends, and that is all. I didn't forget anything. So yay. I hope you guys really enjoyed creating this bandana with me. If you did, please subscribe. Please send me your pictures of your finished bandanas. Tag me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. All the links to my socials are in the description below, so feel free to follow me on there. If you want to chat with me or connect with me more, I'd love to see you guys out there. And yes, I love how my bandana turned out. The colors are beautiful. I did use Hobby Lobby yarn. It's called Yarn Bee, sugar wheel cotton. So I love how all the colors turned out, basically. But thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe if you want to see more tutorials, and feel free to check out the written pattern on my website, Etsy, or Ravelry if you want to make some more bandanas. And have an awesome day, my crochet kings and queens.